PowerBoat Television is brought to you by Yamaha. Conquer water with Yamaha. Ford F-Series. Smart, tough, capable. And BoatBuys.com. Over 60,000 new and used boats for sale. The Pacific Northwest has always been tied to the water. And today, we find ourselves back in Washington State, in Seattle, for one of the top 10 annual events anywhere in this region. This is Seafair.
It's our 70th anniversary. This is not a new event. It's a Seafair of summer in Seattle. So with our multiple millions of population, this is the highlight of summer. We'll see about 2 million people come to our 75 events, all culminating with Seafair weekend. You know, the bones of Seafair is maybe what's best about it. It was put together by a group of the city fathers 70 years ago that wanted to create an event that could bring the community together in a fun and festive way that was affordable. And they started it with a big parade downtown. There were about 300,000 people that lived in the community when they did this. And for the first parade, they had 250,000 people reported in the media to be there. And since then, that's been a regular. The parade still exists, the Alaska Airlines Torchlight Parade. All told, about 2 million people over 10 weeks come to our events.
Upping the action even further, you also have an air show as a part of Seafair weekend. These, of course, being the famous Blue Angels demonstration squad. Will scare the clean right out of your pants.
Seafair weekend draws around 200,000 people alone. There's lots of reasons, sure. There's live music, lots of food options, games and demonstrations for the kids, but the boat racing is at the heart of it all.
All right, here we go. Where's all the boats at? Sorry, man, they're coming. You need to fall in behind 27. You're breaking up the rear. All right, I don't see anybody. Dillard, Brad's right beside you. 50's on his way out.
This is literally the Indianapolis-style race car of hydroplane racing. These boats go in excess of 200 miles an hour. They're racing shoulder to shoulder. As good as it is on TV, you can't understand it until you come and see it and hear it and see a 300-foot-long rooster tail. It's stunning.
Even the timing laps are amazing to watch. The boats start the race at speed. This is no whole shot at the green flag, so they do multiple runs to try and get the exact timing down pat.
Cross the start and finish line a second too early, you get a 1-minute penalty from the officials. Cross it 2 or 3 seconds late, you're going to trail everybody into this south turn, and you're not going to be competitive. So you're taking a 7,000-pound race boat traveling at approximately 170, 175 miles an hour, and you're trying to put it on a start-finish line at the exact moment the clock strikes 0. That's why they do those timing runs.
It takes a special breed to strap yourself into these monsters.
The unlimited category is considered to be the pinnacle of hydroplane racing. The biggest, fastest hydroplanes in the world. We will run right around 200 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway on a 2.5-mile course.
If you're the lead dog, you got a great view, but if you're at the back, like you guys pick up huge, high and long rooster tails. So can you see anything if you're a little further back?
The rule book says we're supposed to leave 7 boat lengths. If you were behind, you would be between walls of water. They should not be crisscrossing in front of you, unless they have 7 boat lengths, at which point you're still going to get a little wet. But the rooster tail doesn't have as much water pressure at that distance to kind of lift you up and blow you over.
Believe it or not, that sort of thing actually happened at the end of the day. This is from a GoPro on one of the unlimited racers, and on the left of the screen, you can see his competitor flying through the air. When you see things like that, you wonder, who wants to do something like this? To some, the answer is as simple as it's in their blood.
My dad raced unlimiteds as well, and then my grandfather raced limited hydroplanes, and my great-grandfather back in the 30s actually kind of built and maintained his own race motors and race boats. So he was the pioneer for us, but it's been passed down through the generations on my father's side of the family. And my mom's actually originally from California. She raced boats too, and that's how she met my father.
The racing action ranges from those big beasts, the H1 Unlimited Hydros, to these guys. These are the junior Hydros, and they can be as young as 9 years old and race these around. They get honking along here pretty good. Oh, big pass. Oh, now you're in third.
It's great to be behind the wheel and out on the water, but sometimes sitting back and just taking it all in is just as fun. And when there's something that's so unique, so wild, and yet so family-friendly as this, you've got to check it out. Later in the show, we find ourselves on the Pacific, watching a very different kind of event.
Marine environments are hostile, especially towards most metals. If you're looking for something to prevent corrosion, Seaguard's zinc spray is worth checking out. Seaguard by Zynga is a single-component film galvanizing system that is unique in several ways. Seaguard offers more passive protection than paint, with an oxide layer that builds up, enhancing the barrier effect of the coating. It also provides active cathodic protection, sacrificing itself over less active metals, something paint simply cannot do. Because of the high zinc content, Seaguard's protection is comparable to hot-dip galvanizing. 96% by weight in the zinc spray, 92% by weight in the zinc alu spray. It is completely non-toxic and is even certified for use with freshwater systems. Generally used to protect ferrous metals like iron and steel, zinc spray is ideally suited to protecting metal dock components, even if they are already corroded. It is also safe to use on aluminum. So, if you find corrosion on a lower unit or outboard skeg, you can use Seaguard to help stop that corrosion in its tracks. Once the surface has been prepped to remove existing oxidation or rust, simply spray Seaguard thoroughly over the area you want to protect. It is dry to the touch in about 10 minutes, and a second coat can be applied 1 hour after it is dry. Even if part of the zinc spray is damaged from an impact, the sacrificial nature of the surrounding zinc continues to protect the metal substrate. Now, if you're doing a small project like this, whatever you do, don't throw the can away. Zinc spray contains 96% zinc and therefore never goes bad and virtually has an unlimited shelf life.
This is the 2019 StarCraft Titan 176. This is the 2019 StarCraft Titan 176. And this is a bitterly cold day in Port Clinton, Ohio on Lake Erie. What better place to test if a small fishing boat has big water capabilities than here and in this?
We're in the water with the 2019 StarCraft Titan 176. Greg Yarbrough, friend of the show, is back. Team StarCraft Fish Pro. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Stephen.
It's a little chilly.
Yes, it is.
But it's a good day for fishing.
Yes, it beats sitting on the couch for sure.
Yeah, that's true. So first of all, before we talk about any of the details, I see marine mat everywhere.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things we added to the Titan series this year. You have 2 additional stainless steel flush mount in-floor bases here for 2 additional seats. And then if you flip these 2 up, You can put 6 behind the windshield if you're using it as a family-style boat that day.
It's a lot of seating for a 17-footer.
Absolutely. Nice and roomy, 92-inch beam. It's got a 22-gallon fuel tank, so plenty of fuel around with a 115 like this. Good running boat, and it's gonna last you quite a long time on the water, 22 gallons.
Something else you're gonna want is rod storage. What do we got on board?
Yep, we've got in-floor rod storage between us here on the floor. We've also got bow lockable rod storage here between the helms. You can put another 6 rods in there for a dozen. You store your Plano boxes in here with your tackle, fenders, dock lines, things like that. And another nice thing you see here is this cutout. That's actually a toe kick where you can lock your feet in. So when you're in rough conditions, netting fish, or you want to lean over to rinse your hands off, you got a nice secure area there to lock your toes in.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the console, we really put a lot in the design of the console. It's got the integrated area for your built-in Lowrance unit right there. It feels almost like you're at the little helm of a muscle car or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's very slick.
Yeah.
And you got a little room here, so if you're really hardcore and you want to add like a ram mount of some other sort,
Correct.
you
If
could.
you want to add a second unit, yep, absolutely. Up here, we got a nice big, large bow storage area. It's got a little channel around the edge here. So if you get rainwater to run in, it doesn't actually run into your dock lines or whatever you're storing in there. Then you've got starboard storage over here with a full drain and liner. You could use that for like ice and beverages, things like that. And then we also have a port side bow live well over on this side.
So stern and bow live well. So if you got 2 people going, you can keep your catches separate for bragging rights back at the dock.
That's right, absolutely. And it does come standard with these backrests, and you can also order an additional set of bow cushions if you want to use it as like a runabout with the family.
Is this standard, the high windshield?
Yeah, it is nice.
It's impressive.
For as nasty as a day it is.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't
Really
add,
blocks that wind nicely.
doesn't add any heat, but if you take out the wind, it does a game changer.
Right.
It really does handle the chop well for a boat that weighs less than 1,500 pounds.
Did that one get him? I hope not.
But handling the chop running and getting some stable fishing shots are 2 very different things. So we're leaving wide open Lake Erie. Still cool, but sheltered. We'll give this channel a go.
You know, Greg, when you said you had a new StarCraft for me to check out, because it was November, I just kind of assumed Florida, but you know, this is nice.
Look around you, it is. It's Florida and Ohio.
If I just pretend it's a C instead of an F behind the 38, then we're
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
Well, we're out of time here, and our cameraman's hands are pretty much frozen solid, so we're gonna call it a day. But in a word, the Titan 176 is versatile. In a second, it's impressive. Well worth a look if you're in the market for an easy-to-trailer, family-friendly, and yet serious fishing boat.
In the same way that, you know, we'll introduce joystick docking on boats, this takes away the stress of backing in. So it's a beauty day.
Yeah.
Out on the water, sun shining.
We're going surfing?
Yes, sir. The only sticky wicket in this plan is, I don't know if you've been to this marina. It's got a great ramp, but the ramp location makes it a little tricky.
So we got to in and out?
Well, yeah, that too, but you also got to go down a hill and then do a big 180 around some brand new boats that are for sale. So it can be a little stressful. So you saw this one has the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, right?
Yep.
Have you used this yet?
Nope, I have not.
It is incredible. In the same way that, you know, we'll introduce joystick docking on boats.
Yes.
It's taken away the stress of docking. This takes away the stress of backing in.
I'm not sure which I'm more excited to try, the backup assist or surfing.
I have no surfing assist buttons though, so that's all you.
Oh, thanks, man. You want to give it a shot?
No, I want you to do it. So let's set up the trailer to
All
make
right.
sure we get it all good to
give it.
go.
So that's our little sticker?
Yeah, so that's what I slapped on right before we left.
So what's the first measurement?
Okay, first measurement, horizontal distance from the license plate to the center of the ball hitch on the trailer.
Plate, center ball hitch, 26 centimeters?
Measurement 2, the horizontal distance from the center of the ball hitch to the center of the sticker.
26 centimeters as well.
Third measurement is the distance from the rear view camera to the center of the sticker.
78.
This engine is a beast.
So we're climbing the hill at like 1,800 RPM, towing an 8,500-pound boat.
That's wild. It's so quiet. So I keep forgetting until I glance out this way that we're towing a boat, because you don't feel it. It feels like we're just cruising along this river here.
Like most cars, it's got blind spot monitoring, but you know what's cool?
Yeah.
It extends for a trailer up to 30 feet long.
The blind spot monitoring works for the trailer too?
Yep.
That's very cool.
And the boat's pretty wide, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna warn you that someone's coming when you can't see them.
I'm telling you, my friend, it's like trailering in the future.
So is this the place? This is Pride of Muskoka?
Yeah, let me show you what I mean about the ramp.
So we've got to back around that corner.
Yeah.
Let's do it. As I get used to it, I can go faster. Love the auto straighten feature. If you want to go straight, just let it go.
Pro Trailer Backup Assist ruined you for trailering, eh?
Piece of cake. Hey, check this out. Ha! Have you got your hands full? No need. And this is the latest tonneau cover from Ford.
Sweet.
You know what's cool about it? You know the roll-up ones?
Yeah.
You can cut into them, and these things are $1,000 a board, right?
Yeah.
Can't cut through this one, it's all aluminum.
That's so cool.
Security and roll-up.
I like it. We're here because the Grayland Open is here, a free ride competition happening right there in the Pacific Ocean. Welcome back to Washington State. We're no longer in Seattle. We're actually on the southwestern corner of the state right now in Grayland, Washington. About 20, 25 miles due south of us is the border with Oregon. We're here because the Grayland Open is here, a free ride competition happening right there in the Pacific Ocean. Started in 2009, there are amateurs and pro riders competing here. Basically, it's a cross between motocross and surfing. It's all very well organized, though if you were here in year one, it would have looked rather different.
First year we had like 18 competitors. I mean, we had milk crates and coolers for a podium, and we had like some janky banners that I had made that were really bad, and it was just for fun.
It's come a long way since then. A second event in Oregon launched around the same time, giving the sport its first foothold in America.
Back when we started it, the stuff that people are doing now, nobody was doing it. Like, nobody. So this event and Surf Slam literally have built the sport in this nation. It didn't really exist before. There was places that you could go and compete around the world on the IFWA tour, but there wasn't a USA stop until 2009.
Admittedly, the backdrop this year isn't quite what you'd hope for, but it's still a great time.
This event happens the second weekend of August. And even though that's the height of summer and we're in Washington State, which should be nice and warm and sunny, as you can see by my jacket and my hoodie, it's a little chilly. And the backdrop is fitting for a place called Grayland. It is very gray. But It is a lot of fun. It's free to come and check it out. If you're here, come drive right out to the beach. Everyone's super friendly, and the action is absolutely incredible, especially what the pro riders are capable of doing.
A floating circus is what I sort of view us as.
Austin Farr has been riding for a long time, but only competing for a few years. He's already a legend, at least in name.
My nickname is Sex Panther. Well, there's an Anchorman joke with a cologne that stinks very badly, known as Sex Panther, that works 60% of the time, every time. And I had a jet ski that was very unreliable, and we thought it would be funny to put Sex Panther on my jet ski at the sprint boat race while all the boats had cool names like Wicked and Sinister, and I thought, Sex Panther, because I was putting a starter in my ski while everyone else was putting numbers on theirs.
No one told him that naming your ride was only done inland, not on the coast.
I took Sex Panther then from this race where it was very funny to the ocean, not knowing that the surf riders put their names on their handle poles, and Sex Panther was labeled on its handle pole. So when I dropped Sex Panther off next to all of the pro skis, they just assumed that my name was Sex Panther, and they didn't even know my name for 2 years. It was just, I was Sex Panther, so here I am.
He first came out to watch and says no one should feel intimidated about checking it out themselves.
There's 50 miles of beach here, and we're only taking up a quarter mile of it or so. So if you want to just come out and experience the peace of nature and then stop by and see a floating circus.
One with strict judging criteria. Half of the score is from tricks and half is from wave riding technique. All the fun had is just a bonus.
We're up now by television in the house, been film boys. So we can come real quickly.
At the end of the timed run, the lollipop is turned, since you're unlikely to hear the horn over the crashing waves.
Normally, I guess I would say my barrel rolls, like no handers barrel rolls, and then just point back barrel rolls are kind of what I do more often, and so that's kind of, I guess, my signature. But so yeah, just mainly those, and then I do like these corkscrew 360 deals that are kind of different. So.
Demi Morgan is one of the top competitors, even though she's technically still in the amateur class. She says this sport as a whole is very unique.
Yeah, the no women's bracket, that's totally different than most sports versus having different brackets. We're kind of just co-ed. You just go at it with whoever, and it doesn't really matter.
Just a kid when the event began, she's now on the cusp of turning pro. But even climbing the rankings quickly